Hey everybody, welcome to GGS Railways. My name is Greg, this is my YouTube channel. Alright, what are we doing tonight? Well, April is a very special month for me, and not because of income taxes, no. It's the month I was born in, and I'm going to be, probably no secret by now, I'm going to be 61 this year. My goodness, that's a lot of years of playing with trains. Now that's not a complaint, but yeah, most of those years have been spent playing with model trains in some form or another, so that's very, very cool. So alright, what do we got here on the track and how does it correlate to my birthday? So alright, so this video probably should have been, a couple of weeks ago, but I got busy. We've had some issues here at the house. We've had some family stuff come up and you know, life. So anyway, we're going to do the video now, and the reason it would have come out probably a couple weeks ago is usually I'll tell people it's my birthday, you know, I'll put the address out there, you know, just shameless, you know, send me a card. You know, I mean, we like cards, we like letters, it's fun. All right, so anyway, for those of you that still wish to do that, we may not get it by my birthday, but here's the address for that, and you know what, we appreciate you guys. All right, so let's talk about the train we have here. So what the theme of this is kind of my birthday, and what's here on the track is kind of some things that evoke childhood memories. So you see the kind of the tie-in there. Now my original thought on this video, and I've been thinking about doing this video for quite a while. It didn't have anything to do with my birthday at the time, but now that it is my birthday, well, you know, it just kind of ties in. But my original thought was that I would get more stuff, you know, more things that kind of correlate to my childhood memories. But you know, we got quite a bit here on the track, and frankly, this little Keebler, what is it? The Keebler Express Elfin Railroad Company train. This is about all it'll pull anyway. So all right, this is pretty cool. This is gonna be awesome. So let's see, how many train cars do we have here on the track, not counting the locomotive or the tender, of course. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, that includes the caboose. So all right, we're going to talk about 9 train cars and what kind of memories they evoke and why I got them out, and you know, why we're doing this at all. So all right, so yeah, you know what? Why not? It's my birthday. We can do what I want to, right? All right, let's get this zoomed in, and we'll just talk about each car, and of course, we'll get a little run around the track, and that'll probably be about it for this video. I think it'll be fun. Let's do it. All right, so here at the front of the train, we have the locomotive and the tender. And we've actually shown this guy quite a few times before now. You know, when I get something that I really, really like it, you guys are going to see it a lot. So, all right, I've kind of figured if I like it, everybody else probably does too. So, all right, so this is the Lionel 8632. This is the Keebler Express Elfin Railroad Company. And I believe the entire set is actually on the track, maybe, I think. But anyway, so this came out, I believe, in 1990. This was an entry-level set. We have found out in the meantime. We've done a couple of videos on this guy, so if you guys want to check those out, they are out there. And yeah, so that's what's going to be leading up our train. And yeah, all right, so let's see what this lineup of train cars looks like that evokes memories from my childhood. Let's see what we got. This ought to be fun. I think it's gonna be fun. Let's do it. All right, so let's get this train going. Hopefully he will go forward. Yes, he will. Very cool. So all right, once again, that's the 8632 by Lionel, and I believe it came out in 1990. So all right, so speaking of the Lionel 8632 that came out in 1990. So once again, this is the Keebler Express Elfin Railroad Company, and this first boxcar is actually one of the cars that came in that set, and we did go and get the entire set. We drove a total of 10 hours to get an entry-level Lionel train set. Yes, but I really, really wanted it, and you know, I got it super cheap on the auction, and it was a fun drive. You know, we don't need much of an explanation to go get a train now, do we? So all right. So what about this kind of evokes the childhood memories? Well, if you grew up or if you were born around the same time I was, I guess I should say that, you will know that the Keebler elves and the Keebler products, if you're watching television, I think one of, 4 channels that we had at the time. Yes, when I was growing up, we had 4 channels to choose from. Now, that didn't include the UHF channels, which, you know, was a whole other bag of things. But yeah, 4 channels, 4 channels. So all right, so on those 4 channels, every other commercial that you would see would generally be a Keebler commercial, and you know, they featured the Keebler elves and the Keebler products, and yeah, we grew up eating all these things that you see here: the Townhouse crackers, I actually don't remember the Munchums, but we had Weedables and of course the graham crackers. Oh my God, I love graham crackers. Of course the club crackers and the Zesta crackers. Now I don't remember the Toasties. So all right, so yeah, that is a very good memory from my childhood. You know, the Keebler elves, man, they just hold a very special place in my childhood. I mean, you know, once again, I drove 10 hours to get a Keebler Express Elf and Railroad Company train. I think that kind of says it all. So, all right, so I should not have probably shut that off because this is going to want to go in reverse. So, all right, next up we have, and this will need some explaining. Oh, here we go. All right, we have this guy. So, all right, you're probably like, what the heck? So, all right, this is a Bronx Zoo car, and it's actually an animated car, and what it has is it's got a little thing where, you know, it's just a little too short for the giraffe to go under. It's got a little telltale that goes on the track, and when it goes over the telltale, the giraffe ducks. And when I saw that car, I just had to have it. Now, what does that have to do with my childhood? Well, because I mean, that was very recently I got that car. So, all right, when I was a child, I had a toy giraffe, and apparently it was very humorous because, you know, giraffe, and you think about a young kid, and you know, a giraffe. That's kind of a hard word to say, so I just called it a raft. So yes, that's my raft car. So all right, yes, childhood memory, very cool. So all right, next up, moving right along, man, we are knocking these out pretty quickly. All right, backwards. All right, here we go. Ready? All right, so next we have this yellow and gray Rio Grande car, O-scale. And you know, you're probably thinking, gosh, what does that have to do with your childhood? Well, okay, so when I got my first model train, one of the very first times that I went and I picked out my own my own train car at the Sharpstown Mall. If you're from the Houston area, you know where that is. It's not a good place to go anymore, but it used to be the place to go. Anyway, they had a model train shop there in the mall, and it was really, actually a very quite nice train shop. Anyway, I picked this guy out. This is the very first train car that I picked out by myself. So, all right, very cool. And to this day, you know what? It's still stunning. I had really good taste. So, all right, let's see what we got next. Let's see what is next. Now, these are in no particular order. As a matter of fact, they're kind of in the order of weight of the car, because this is kind of a long train, and some of the lighter ones would not have made it closer to the front because, frankly, some of these would have gone closer to the front had it been based on emotion. So, all right, here we go. So this is also part of the Keebler, what is it? The Keebler Express Elf and Railroad Company set. And this is a black car, and it's got a load of Cheez-It crackers, and I believe that's Keebler, what is that? Well, it just says Keebler cookies and crackers. Now, I was not a big fan of Keebler cookies. I don't know what the heck was up with that, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were a little too sophisticated for my non-sophisticated palate. But anyway, this is once again a part of the Keebler set, and yeah, this brings up really good childhood memories. You know, Cheez-Its kind of reminds me of the family game night. Very cool. What an awesome memory. I mean, I'm just wow. So, all right, what do we have next? Man, we are knocking this out. Look at this. All right, this is going to go backwards. That's okay. You know, we'll go forwards. All right, so next, oops. And if you've watched my channel at all, this one is probably self-explanatory. But all right, so this is part of the Mickey Mouse. I believe this is part of the 90th anniversary set that we have, and this is Mickey Mouse. And you know, I really love, for those that haven't heard it a million times already, I love Mickey Mouse. I really love Mickey Mouse. You know, if you were my age, you grew up on Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney, and my goodness, what a wonderful time to grow up. My goodness. All right, yes, that's a nice warm and fuzzy childhood memory. All right, so next, and once again, this one's going to take a little bit of explaining because you're going to go, what the heck? So, all right, there's going to be a little bit of a disclaimer on this one, if I can get it to go forwards now. All right, so here we have a log car, and what happens on this log car is as it goes by, it has an actuator that goes on the track, and it will flip a little actuator, and it flips the logs off into a tray. Now, I have neither the actuator nor the nor the tray anymore. I think the actuator was some sort of black plastic weird thing, but anyway, grab that little plunger and it flipped the logs into a tray that, once again, which I don't have. Now for the disclaimer. So, all right, yes, this would be from my childhood. Now, this is not the one I had. Mine was actually yellow, and I believe it may be actually around here somewhere, but mine broke because I wore it out because it was one of the very first operating cards that I got as a child. And actually, I think that was one of the cards that I got that Christmas. And so, yeah, I literally wore it out. I mean, the little thing that flips up just literally broke off. It just was no more. And it's not just terribly greatly made, frankly. But anyway, so yeah, so that's another memory from my childhood. So yeah, so let's see what we got next here. So, all right, so this next one you kind of already see it. Doggone it. So much for that. All right, here we go. Oh, backwards. All right, so this next thing, we got this very recently. And I bought an entire huge lot of train cars just to get this Cracker Jack box car. And fortunately, it's in pretty good shape, and it is everything it appeared to be on the eBay auction. You know, sometimes you can't tell just everything from pictures, but this guy is really amazing. Now, if you haven't heard the story, this is Cracker Jacks were a big thing in my childhood. You know, that's before we knew that sugar was probably not the best thing for children. But anyway, so all right, yeah, Cracker Jacks was my grandmother kept us a good part of my my childhood. You know, during the daytime when my parents would work. And anyway, when my grandmother wanted to watch her stories, the soap operas on TV, she thought that was not appropriate for little kids. And well, probably it wasn't, but we wouldn't have understood what was going on anyway. But that's beside the point. So the thing was, you know, during her story time, we were to take a nap. Now, little kids need a nap. That's pretty cool. It worked out pretty well. But to entice us to take our nap, we got a box of Cracker Jacks. And we got to go upstairs and take our nap and check out our Cracker Jacks and whatever cheap little prize was in it. And man, I just tell you what, that meant the world to us. That's a really, really good memory. So, all right, we are getting close to the end of the train already. Like I said, originally my thought for this video was I'd find some more things, and yeah, but you know what? This is fine. This is cool. We can always make another video. My goodness. All right, here we go. Whoa! All right, so next, and we got this car not terribly long ago either. And once again, I bought a huge lot of train cars just for this train car. So, all right, if you are my age, you grew up with Toys R Us. Yes, and you know, they had model trains. They really did. So yeah, you could go there, and now Toys R Us was not going to be like your premium train sets and stuff. It was going to be like the entry-level stuff. It had a lot of Tyco, a lot of that type of stuff. I bought my fair share of the iteration of Tyco trains that if you got them home and they didn't work, they were just cheap enough that you just kept it anyway. that really was a thing, guys. That really did work that way. Because if you took it back, chances are the next one you got wasn't going to work either. So, all right, yeah, Toys R Us. Man, that is an awesome memory. Man, oh man, oh man. So, all right, last but not least. So, all right, so this is the other piece to the Elfin Railroad Express. And if I can get the train to go. All right, we got a Cheez-It car. Now, we talked about Cheez-Its just a minute ago. So, when I was a kid, we had a family game night. We usually had some Cheetos, or not Cheetos, Cheez-Its. Well, sometimes we had Cheetos, but Cheez-Its. We had some Dr. Pepper, and we would play Yahtzee or Monopoly, or, you know, just any number of games. And man, I just tell you what, that is a really, really good memory. So, all right, so, you know, as much as that makes me happy to see it sitting still, I bet you it's going to look just so much better moving. What do you think? Let's see if we can get this going here. So, all right, the only reason this Keebler Express Elfin Railroad locomotive is able to pull this at all is because it does actually have some traction tires. So, all right, otherwise, it would be a no-go. So, how about that? How cool is that? Very nice. Look at that. Look at all those childhood memories going by. Man, oh man, oh man. So, all right. So for all my younger folks out there, they're probably scratching their heads wondering what some of the stuff is and why in the world that would be special. But I'm here to tell you it was. When you get older, you will understand. Wow. So cool. All right, guys. Well, how'd we do? I think we did pretty good. You know, tying in the childhood memories and my birthday coming up. You know, for a 61-year-old man, That's a pretty good thing. That's a pretty sweet deal. All right, guys. Well, I think this is probably it. Let's get this zoomed out so we can see it. I'm not doing too great on the cameraman stuff here. I'm getting all getting all emotional and not just doing real well here. All right, here we go. Let's see. I'll be going the height. Move it over a little bit. All right, now we're ready. Wow, my goodness. So yeah, that just made the video a little bit longer, didn't it? I don't think anybody minds. I definitely don't mind. So all right, look at this. Wow, it's so awesome. My goodness, that is a lot of happiness right there, guys. So all right, like I said, 61. We're coming up on 61 years of model railroading, and for most of those years, it really was railroading. It's funny how you get a passion and it just kind of sticks. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this as much as I have, because man, I know you can't see my face, but I am grinning from ear to ear. So yeah, very nice. Thank you for allowing me to share this. Thank you for watching, and we will certainly put out some more stuff coming up. Well, I hope soon. Like I said, we have a few family issues come up, and yeah. So, but you know, nothing lasts forever, and you know, that includes things that are not so great in your life. It all passes. So, all right, guys. Until next time, GPS Railway out. Can you see the smoke? that Keebler thing is quite prolific on the smoke. Loving it. All right, now we can call it. All right, GPS Railway's out for real this time.